Into another edition of Outside the Shop with me, your host, Daryl D-Lane, as always, where I get to talk about everything that I normally don't get the chance to talk about on my regular sports podcast, Barbershop Sports Talk, which you guys can all find on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, or whichever podcasting app or platform you choose to use. Special shout out to everybody who's tuning in via Facebook Live, YouTube live stream, and Twitter/Periscope. And today, for my take of the day, Cooper Kupp, fantastic season. I believe if he has a big game Sunday, could go over 2,000 yards. Should not be anywhere in the MVP conversation with guys like Aaron Rodgers, guys like Tom Brady. Even I've heard my good friend Ben Karen, host of Sports Wealth Podcast, mentioned Joe Burrow. I think Jamar Chase is a claim in there. Here's the thing. In sports, numbers are used a lot. And I always say this about numbers. They never lie, because the number is the number. But what they do is they mislead. They don't tell the whole story. And we see how stats are inflated now, particularly in sports. Look at the NBA. Everybody's averaging 30, 10, and 10. Look at Luka, to James Harden, to Stephen Curry, to Russell Westbrook, all these guys. And then you look at the NFL, right? QB, how stats are inflated. You're passing every down now. You get a lot of attempts per game. Running backs, if you have a great O-line, you're running it a lot. Pass rusher, you can get a lot of sacks, but are those sacks that you're beating the off the tackle, or are they coverage sacks because the secondary is doing a good job, or the quarterback goes into the sack? Like, just because you get a sack, like, not all sacks are created equal, not all touchdowns are created equal, not all catches are created equal. Wide receivers getting a lot of targets, getting put in great positions to score touchdowns. Like, not every touchdown, reception, catch, sack, they're not all created equals. And I think sometimes in sports we boil it down to, you have a lot of numbers, you must be really good. And I'm not saying Cooper Kupp isn't good, because he's fantastic and he's arguably a top 5 receiver in the NFL. But here's what I said. Cooper Kupp, look at him. He gets the ball thrown to him a ton. They center their offense around him. So he's high volume, high reward, right? So he's going to get a lot of catches, a lot of receiving yards, a lot of touchdowns. So those numbers are going to come because they center their offense around him. But not only that, what he is he's a possession receiver with some deep threat speed. McVay, who's one of the best offensive minds in all of football, they do a lot of stuff to get him the ball. They'll get him the ball on screens. They'll have a lot of blockers in front of him. That counts as a reception. They'll do stuff like that. They'll use reverses with him. They'll move him around the field so he can get certain matchups that are better for him. It's not like you have a Jamar Chase on the outside and you're like, okay, we're going to throw you a 7-yard slant. You turn that 7-yard slant to an 80-yard touchdown. That's not the type of stuff physically that Cooper Kupp is doing. Also, I do want to put this in there. Matthew Stafford, which helps him, is Matthew Stafford throws it right on target to him in the middle of the field. He's catches the ball in the middle of the field right in stride. He's able to not have to stop, and he can gather his steps, run upfield. That's something that he wasn't able to do with Jared Goff, and that's why you see Cooper Kupp goes from being a borderline 1,000-yard wide receiver last year to potentially being able to get over 2,000 yards this year, right? I think Matthew Stafford plays a bigger role in the Rams' success. I think Aaron Donald plays a bigger role in the Rams' success. I think Jalen Ramsey plays a bigger role in their success. I think Sean McVay plays a bigger role in the Rams' success than a Cooper Kupp. And it's not taking anything away from Cooper Kupp again. Fantastic player, phenomenal player. I think it's just sometimes we look at the stats, we're thinking, oh my God, Cooper Kupp is this special specimen that's having this special season. He's having a special season because they're getting the ball to him a lot, and they do some things schematically, and they have some good players around him that helps him put up those numbers, right? And here are some guys who are more deserving of MVP. Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Taylor. You know what makes Jonathan Taylor so impressive? He has over 1,000 yards after contact. That shows after he gets to the second level, he's running dudes over. Like stuff like that. Derrick Henry. I think Tyreek Hill. When you look at receivers off the top of my head, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. I think those are all guys who are better than Cooper Kupp. Devontae Adams, he can be in one-on-one situation. He's going to go up and get the ball. Cooper Kupp's not necessarily doing that. Cooper Kupp's not turning an 8-yard slant route into an 80-yard touchdown. He's not turning a reverse into a 60-yard gain. He's just not doing stuff like that. And it doesn't take away from it. It doesn't mean he's not a great player. I think it's just when we look at all these guys, and sometimes there are players who can be elite within a system, but maybe they're not elite without the system. Like Jamar Chase is good in any system, right? Justin Jefferson, I think, is becoming that point where he's good in any system. Tyreek Hill is good in any system. Cooper Kupp is not necessarily that in any system. I think that's just important when we look at all of this. And that's all I want to say for my take of the day. Aaron Rodgers, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, all guys that would be more deserving of being in the MVP conversation. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's, like I said, my take of the day. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.